Yes, indeed. We have returned. It is, what is today? It is Tuesday, the 20th of February. It is 37 degrees here in northern New Jersey. Now, today is one of those days, right, where, it looks like it's a lot warmer outside than it is. It's really sunny, but it still helps. Had the windows open. I got a lot of flowers in here, on the window sills. They're getting all the juice today. So it's a good one. Got my big old gallon of water, Came here to do what I came here to do, and it's gonna be a good one. We got Monk without a cause in the building. But yeah, no, it looks like it's a nice 50, 60 degrees outside, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not. But 37 ain't so bad, I mean, like it's cold, but it isn't, when you go a few weeks in the 20s or below, then 37 is rather decent. Dora, what's going on? We got Fritz in the building. Queen Fritza, hello. Yes. Oh my God. So I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling pretty good. Um, yeah, I was just thinking if there was anything, like on my mind heavy that I wanted to say, and not really. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see. Yeah, yesterday I was on with Dr. Richie and on Indisputable. And he passed 1 million subscribers yesterday. So that was cool. It's always nice being on with Dr. Richie anyway, but it was cool being on there. When he passed 1 million subscribers. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more of that. I got asked to be on again today, but I just didn't have time. I was doing some other stuff. So what we got today, man? We got all right. You know what? I think that this is what we're gonna start off with today. We're gonna start off with the first jail photo, the first jailbird photo of Sam Bankman Fried. You did because my man's we got bibliophile. Oh, it's almost 50 in Pittsburgh. So yeah, there's something about the sun. Because like I said, it's 37 here, which it's not terrible, but it just seems more warm and vibrant than that. But yes, we got Libby in the building. Sigourney. How's everybody doing? All right, so look now, this is what we came here for, right? We're gonna check this out. Sam Bankman Fried with his fellow inmates kicking it. Somebody named Tiffany Fong. And this is from what was I gonna say? It says the 17th of December. I'm trying to blow the picture up. Hold on, I gotta hold up one sec. I am going to bring it up to this Twitter thing so y'all can see the full blown up picture. Here we go. My man Sam Bankman Fried in here chilling, you know what I'm saying? With all the real crooks. You feel me? I think he's somewhere in Brooklyn. Hold on, what prison is he in? He's in MDC Brooklyn, whatever that is. He looked like he is not supposed to be there. But you better get real comfortable there, my brother, because that is where you shall be. This dude ain't never getting out of prison. I mean, what's like, bro? Like his rise to the tens of billions in his net worth came and went so quickly. I mean, people bought onto that hype train so damn fast, and maybe some of it had to do with the brain rot that we all suffered. We all suffered a tremendous amount of brain rot during the COVID season, and that's kind of when crypto really blew up, or at least the hype off of the edges of the end of the lockdowns and things like that. But this dude does not belong in this prison, and yet that is where he finds himself. Prison isn't somewhere where anyone wants to be. But ultimately, and again, we have a whole lot of problems with our law enforcement system, with our criminal justice system, for sure. There's a lot of people in prison who shouldn't be there. But it's good that we have prisons, because there are people in society who you really don't want to be free out here. They just can't get their act together. And Sam Bankman Fried seemed to be one of those people. It's like, you come from a good background. You had a very good education. His credentials were amazing. But you just had to go and steal billions of dollars from people. You just had to do it. You couldn't help yourself. I mean, bro, like this dude could have done much of anything he wanted to do. you know he's very mechanically intelligent. Obviously he's not, he ain't that damn smart, because look where he is now. But he's he's smart enough. He could have done anything with computer programming. He could have done anything with numbers. He could have done shit with investing. But I mean, apparently he sucks at investing, because the whole thing was Alameda Research. FTX, if y'all remember, really was just a front to fund Alameda Research, his hedge fund. And this dude went on. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say it's Jonathan, but I could totally be fucking that up. This dude did an interview with a banking journalist, like a guy who is a veteran in the banking world, knows finance like the back of his hand, and sat there and described a Ponzi scheme. Literally, he said, think of this box, and people just put money into the box, and then you can get as much money back out of it as you want. And they were like, so you're running a Ponzi scheme. And it was like over a year later that he went down. But it's just funny, man. Life, choices matter. Choices matter, man. You could end up like Sam Bankman Fried. I mean, look at this dude. But he also looks like a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks like it really don't make no difference to him whether he's in prison or if he's somewhere else. But I mean, this guy, like he looks I don't know. I mean, there's one picture, but he's just off, man. There's just something off about him. You can't see any of their faces. But it's like I'd be willing to bet that all of these guys come from backgrounds that at least make a little bit more sense for them to be up in here. Not your ass. Modern day Bernie Madoff, except you didn't do it as good and you didn't do it as long. He couldn't pull it off. All right. We had to start off with that one. No, he does. Bibliophile for real. He looks like it's something wrong with him. Like you just looked him in those. You could tell, you could see it. Like the dude is off, which is why he's where he is. But there's something wrong with him, man. So it's like, hey, but you know what? Hold on, let me put my chair down just a little bit. There we go. I had bring I got the camera set up high, but I'm not a short guy, so got to bring the chair down. All right. But yeah, no, my man's was looking all types of crazy in this picture. Um, okay, it doesn't really say anything else. It just talks about his living conditions. My man, this dude went from living like a king off of stolen money, off of stolen dollars, to never ever being able to get out of prison. And for what? For what? For what? That's life, man. Oh, look at this. We got the US standing up for human rights all over the place. Don't we? Look at this. Check this out. What we got? We got US vetoes UN resolution demanding immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Yep, we got to stand on the side of the people who already have all the weapons and ammunition and money they could ask for. Bro, Israel is the ultimate welfare state. They over there living good off of our tax dollars and their other allies' tax dollars, because Israel's in the middle of the desert. Like there really aren't any natural resources there, and just the way the country was formed, it's new. Like it needed a lot of assistance to get where it is. So it's just like this little bitty country has so much power and sway over nations who literally could just turn their backs on them for doing what they're doing to the Palestinians. But obviously, things aren't that simple, unfortunately. The US on Tuesday vetoed a UN Security Council resolution that demanded an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. It's the third time the US has vetoed a resolution related to the war in Gaza. It also comes amid increasing global calls for a ceasefire as conditions in the enclave continue to rapidly deteriorate. More than 29,100 Palestinians, the majority of whom are women and children, have been killed since the war began, according to the Ministry of Health in Hamas-run Gaza. The UN warned this week that due to malnutrition, the Gaza Strip is poised to witness an explosion in preventable child deaths. which would compound the already unbearable level of child deaths in Gaza. 13 countries voted in favor of the Algeria led resolution today, while the US voted against it. The UK abstained. It was like, nah, the UK was like, nah, we ain't gonna have no say in this. We not gonna put no real skin in the game. We just gonna be indifferent. My bad, y'all. I had to take a quick swig. You know, you know how that goes. Um, the resolution called for an immediate ceasefire, the delivery of aid to the entire Gaza Strip, Israel's compliance with the orders of the International Court of Justice, and for all parties to respect their obligations under international law. It also rejected the forced displacement of Palestinians and demanded the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. The U.S. warned it would use its veto if the resolution passed. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas Greenfield said in a statement this weekend that the U.S. believes a hostage deal proposal the Biden administration is pushing represents the best opportunity to reunite all hostages with their families and enable a prolonged pause in the fighting. The deal would lead to at least a 6-week pause in fighting. Quote, "We want this deal to take place as soon as possible, but sometimes diplomacy take more time." Okay, yeah, there's just a typo. Sometimes diplomacy takes more time than we would like. Secretary of State Tom Blinken spoke several times with his Algerian counterpart in recent weeks and asked him to wait with the vote because it might hamper U.S. efforts to reach a hostage deal and a temporary ceasefire, uh, a U.S. official said. Now, see, this is why, and I'm just going to be like clear with y'all. This is why, you know, I haven't, like here and there, I'll cover stuff like this, but um, I don't go in depth with this because I'm not somebody who is, super educated on foreign policy with stuff like this. I'm more focused on domestic issues. But again, things like, it would be disingenuous for me right now to act like I know exactly what their hostage deal is versus what the UN is talking about. Like it would be disingenuous for me to sit here and be like, I know exactly that what the UN wanted to pass would work. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Israel would actually listen to the UN if this passed. I don't know if the UN would actually do anything about it. So at the end of the day, I think what's important is what is the Biden administration actually doing? Because that's where we can hold him most accountable. Because when you're dealing with things like the United Nations, I mean, so many things that the United Nations does is just for show. It may be good intention, but nothing really ends up coming from it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, at this point, what's clear and what we know is that the Biden administration has not done nearly enough. That's really all that matters. The negotiations over the deal have largely stalled, with significant gaps between Israel and Hamas remaining. The U.S. circulated on Monday its own Security Council draft resolution that calls for a temporary ceasefire but did not stipulate a time frame, saying it should come as soon as practicable. My bad, y'all. As soon as practicable, and on a basis of releasing all hostages held by Hamas. Well, we'll keep our eyes on stuff like this. But again, at the end of the day, what really matters is what the Biden administration is doing. That's really what matters because we're their top ally. Ew. All right, let's see what's up. Oh, we got Kiki in the building. What's going on? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We started a little bit late today, but it's all good. Better late than never. And I'll do my best to get the clips out after the streams for people who weren't able to tune in because I'm not quite yet on a firmly set schedule. We're doing well, you know what I'm saying? But the grind and the hustle is still real. We still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still working 12, 13, 14-hour days. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not working nonstop the whole time, but you know. Sooner than later, we gonna get to. I'd like to stream at 11 o'clock every day, but right now I don't get enough sleep to stream at 11 every day. All right, what we got? We got Tim Scott in the building. Well, not really, but what we got, Tim Scott. Tim Scott says he feels desperation from former ally Nikki Haley. She has to realize that this race is over. I mean, look, listen, I guess it is over. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not technically, but it kind of is. But, you know, Tim Scott is, well, we watched that clip. He was like, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, like, bruh, like, let's just watch this because I don't really have anything nice to say.
One more question for you, though, on Ambassador Haley, because she did say just this morning, we can't wait to go to Michigan the day after South Carolina. Could that just have been like a throwaway line and ahead of a potential dropout? Or how does this all work? You've been in presidential politics.
Yeah, so I will say with that question, so sometimes you wake up on Monday morning and you realize that the race is already gone. The best thing you can do is within 24 hours is to get out the way. I hope that happens. Listen, Nikki Haley has run the best race she could run. And lately her campaign has been descending. Honestly, it's
yes, exactly, Libby. It just keeps coming out. It's just one of those days.
Desperation that you feel coming from her camp. And when you feel that type of desperation, that means the race is already over. And the leading person, Nikki Haley herself, has to come to realization. She has to realize that this race is over. It is best for the country, not just a party. It is best for America that we focus on Joe Biden. And frankly, on Monday morning, February the 25th, we're going there either way. But we would love to have her as a part of that team.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is over, you know. It is over. So in terms of, you know, Donald Trump having already won the primaries, it's definitely over. So, you know, there's really not too much criticism to lay into what he said, because what he said really is it's Tim Scott. But yeah, Nikki, it's kind of done. It's kind of done. Okay, what we got? We got some fun stuff today, but first we're gonna check this out. Okay, where are we? Parkland survivor trolls Trump's new sneaker venture by buying domain and directing visitors to gun safety site.
Flag laws.
Oh yeah, this was when MTG was following David around. My man was just trying to go about his day. He was probably hungry on his way to go eat something, or I don't know, you know, something regular and very normal that people typically do. And here comes Marjorie Taylor Greene.
If Scott Peterson, the resource officer at Parkland, had done his job, then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least protected them. Why are you supporting red flag?
And she not even a reporter. Like, I mean, we know who she is and we know how she does, but this is just such clout chasing nonsense, because it's like, you're not even a reporter, Marjorie. You don't, you know, you people should be following you like this. You shouldn't be following up after people asking them questions like this. You're a member of Congress.
Gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights. And why are you using kids to get to as a barrier?
He's a kid. Why are you using people in your own age group as why are you mingling with people who it makes the most sense for you to mingle with?
Do you not know how to defend your stance? Look, I'm an American citizen. I'm a gun owner. I have a concealed carry permit. I carry a gun with.
She's like 30 years older than this dude. She's like legitimately 30 years older than this guy, and she's following him around like oh my god, bruh, this woman is in Congress
For protection for myself, and you are using your lobby and the money behind it and the kids to try to take away my Second Amendment rights. You don't have anything to say for yourself? You can't defend your stance? If school zones
she talking like she a reporter.
were protected with security guards with guns,
he's just moving right on along. Man, I'm just trying to enjoy this day. I'm really trying. You know what, I commend him for this, because you know he could have handled it a lot differently, for sure.
there would be no mass shootings at schools.
Well, hold on, what
You
she
know that?
saying?
Protected by with security stance. If school zones were protected by with security guards with guns, there would be no mass shootings at schools.
There's so many schools in the country. We just gonna put security guards at all the thousands and thousands of schools.
Do you know that? The best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun. But yet you're attacking our Second Amendment. And you have nothing to say. No
She's
words.
such a ridiculous person. She's so ridiculous. Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg has bought a website address referencing former President Donald Trump's new sneaker brand and turned it into an anti-gun violence website with the ability to call lawmakers to advocate for legislation. Mr. Hogg, who is now the president of Leaders We Deserve, an organization dedicated to electing young candidates to Congress. See, you know, this you sitting around, you know what? You sitting around following him. My man's is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how old he is. I know he's younger than me. This dude is out here, you know, starting organizations that help select the very people that we need and want in office. You know, that's what I'm talking about. That's the type of shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit we strive to do here. And that's the type of stuff that we pushing forward. You know what I mean? Like we keep it out every day, but it's just cool to see stuff like this because this is what it's really about. You know, you get yourself some type of you know, really consistent attention. That's really the simplest way to put it. You know, whether people are tuning into you because they're learning about history, or even if it's like you're just some Lord of the Rings channel and people are tuning into you listening because they learning about Tolkien universe or something, whatever. Like, you know, it's just nice to see people do stuff like this because it works. You know, like it works. The bigger this channel gets, as this year piles continues to go on, as I continue to just expand my career, there's absolutely no reason why we can't do any of these things and why we won't do any of these things. Like, all you have to do is make the decision to try. You know what I'm saying? Like, throughout my life, I've started and done so many things, and I'm just happy to be in this space now. Like, I just turned 32 years old and feel like, okay, now for my career, like I'm actually going to be giving back and making a difference and doing some shit instead of just having a bunch of people watching me online just because, you know, like, so otherwise, like, what's the fucking point? But again, it's just cool to see Marjorie Taylor Greene chasing this dude around, and my man's is getting young people elected. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Mr. Trump launched a series of sneakers ranging from $199 to $399 to help him raise funds for his legal expenses. Oh yeah, yep. my dude, he went to that sneaker convention. Half of them, no, he got cheers, but he got a lot of booze. Mara, yeah, definitely. I hope you can go to the beach though. Go to the beach if it's nice. But you live in California, so you are already used to the nicer weather. All right, where we at now? Okay, the website has been used to send 58,362 calls since its launch. Visitors to the website can listen to the generated voices of 6 gun violence victims, enter their zip codes, and then send their selected recording to a politician of their choice. That's amazing. That's fucking cool as hell. How can you hate on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not be inspired by some shit like that? That's what you do, man. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, according to the website, 43,036 gun violence deaths occurred in 2023 so far this year. Oh yeah, and then we covered this the other day. 5,000 people have died from gun violence already. Yeah, so this happened in 2018. Well, good on you, brother, man. Go ahead and keep on doing what you're doing. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Nah, man. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just she's so ridiculous. Oh, we got old Dion in the building. What's going on, man? How you doing? Good to have you here. You know, sometimes like I'll be like, ah, man, I started late today, but then it's the perfect time for some people, you know. That's why you just got to keep on going. You got to keep the party going. Yes, the gazpacho. But nah, shout out to David Hogg, man. Good on you. That's good to see because I didn't even know that he had started that organization. Because again, I mean that extends beyond his own personal experience with gun violence and pushing for gun reform. I mean, just getting younger candidates into office. You're talking about a whole wave of policy changes, and that's one of the things that we talk about here all the time about the ultimate silver lining. You know, even though we're dealing with what we're dealing with, and even though things can look grim, it's our time to shine. You know, Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. It's our time to do our thing. We are of age, so let's do our thing. Okay, what we gonna look at now? Hmm. All right, let's check this out. We got Hassan. What's going on, Hassan? How you doing? Good to have you here. Always good to have you here. Oh, that was before she ran for office? Well, shit. Either way, her ass is not a reporter, and David Hogg is a kid. Either way. All right. Alabama Supreme Court legally recognizes frozen embryos as children. The Alabama Supreme Court has ruled to legally recognize frozen embryos as children. However, doctors and legal experts warn the ruling could have dangerous implications for fertility treatments, such as in vitro fertilization. The unprecedented decision reverses a lower court's ruling in a wrongful death lawsuit. Three couples brought against a fertility clinic after someone there dropped their frozen embryos, destroying them. Oh, this is interesting. The Alabama Supreme Court determined frozen embryos qualify as people under its state law, saying unborn children are children without exception based on developmental stage. This is an interesting lawsuit. And you know what? And again, this is why Roe v. Wade was so important because of stuff like this. You know, like man, the reversal of Roe v. Wade really, really fucked things up. It just did. Just saying, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself just about all these court cases that are just piling up that are, just could be some random woman who, maybe got assaulted or something. Like, man, that shit is crazy. All right, where were we? The Alabama Supreme Court determined frozen embryos qualify as people under its. Okay, we just read that. Advocates argue the ruling could impact the availability of fertility treatments like in vitro fertilization because of fear from providers of being held liable for disposed non-viable embryos. Quote: We have kind of what is just a brand new landscape for the law," said Jasmine Matlock, an attorney with M&H Legal Services. Oh yes, happy birthday, Mara. Tell your father happy birthday. All right. In 2021, more than 238,000 families in the U.S. relied on in vitro fertilization to have a baby. Multiple embryos are often frozen to increase the likelihood that one will successfully implant. Quote: At this point, there is no decision on when a physician or clinic can conclude storing these embryos, so they are potentially liable for the wrongful death of an embryo after the parents have passed. Some doctors also worry the ruling could make in vitro fertilization less accessible by making it more expensive or causing some clinics to close because of legal risks. Why? Mm, Jesus, man. Quote: This ruling is so incomplete and it leaves those of us who are sitting face to face with patients just with the inability to comment on what is safe and what is legal for them right now. The issue is already being taken up by federal lawmakers. Pennsylvania Congresswoman Susan Wild and Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth have introduced a bill that would establish fertility treatments as a right for patients and doctors. I mean, just what a mess has been made. Right, exactly. It's pretty soon they're gonna be like, you can't even have sex with yourself, and we gonna. I mean, but that's the nature of extremism. And, you just keep on pushing the lever, keep on pushing the boundaries. Um, and again, it really has not just has it had real life consequences in terms of people's everyday experiences and what that does to them, but it's also had very negative political consequences for the Republican Party. It has objectively, tangibly, it can't be argued. And they're going to continue to have problems because of it, because of stuff like this. I mean, why are we even, you know, because I like, I really do my best, especially where I'm at in my life now, to put myself in people's shoes for the good or the bad, just to really empathize. Like, what is it like to be you? What are you, like, what's really going through your mind and your feelings right now? Like, I can't even imagine what a lot of women are feeling and going through, because that's what happens when you have sex. People get pregnant sometimes, especially if you ain't doing it protected. Like, it's just, and this is the United States. All right, let's see what we got with Alina Habba. We got Alina Habba in the building. We got Alina Habba in the building. Fox anchor asked Trump lawyer Alina Habba if Trump has to sell almost all his New York assets to pay blockbuster fraud bond. Nah, she gonna be like, no, he's too rich. It don't matter.
Don't feel. Let me ask you this. In terms of the 30-day deadline from Judge Engoron to pay this extraordinary fine that Jonathan Turley calls obscene, is that the case? Does he really have 30 days to pay this fine? And if so, there are some reports that he will sell off almost all, if not all, of his New York assets. What can you tell us about that?
No, I mean, I would never get into anything privileged, but I can tell you what the rules are. And within 30 days, even if we choose to appeal this, which we will, we have to post the bond, which is the full amount and some.
Ooh, my man's got 30 days to come up with almost $500 million. Man, I don't care. Man, that is a lot of money.
And we will be prepared to do that.
So, but how much is the bond?
Well, so you have to break it up. So there were obviously individual defendants that got fined. There was the company that got fined. But you're looking at roughly, let's call it close to $400 million for something that he did nothing wrong. Look, it's
nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. That's why we can't win in court at all. That's why every single time we go into a courtroom, we lose, and we lose very badly. It's because he did everything right. From the defrauding everything, conning everybody, and their mama and their daddy and their sister and their uncle. And then going out of the courtroom and saying "fuck Judge Engoron, fuck Letitia James, fuck everybody," and then going back into the courtroom. He did everything so tremendously well.
It's no coincidence, and I'll say it. They know by looking at his statements of financial condition that this guy is worth a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars. And that didn't even include his brand, Martha. But what they're trying to do between my last case, is put him out of business. It's not going to work, number one. Number two, what they're doing is a scare tactic. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong guy to pick on, in my opinion, because he's strong, he's resilient, and he happens to have a lot of cash. Now, that doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean it's okay. It's grotesquely insane.
Right.
I was speaking
to
somebody.
somebody. Have him sell the bricks. Didn't Elon Musk do some shit like that? He sold he sold bricks for. Why did he do that? I don't remember. But that was something that he did. Like, I think he was building something, and then they stopped, and then I don't know. It was something weird like that.
Somebody today that actually mentioned that there are countries that literally make that in a given year.
Right, G. I didn't look into it yet, but I have seen a couple of articles with the titles talking about E. Jean Carroll for a third lawsuit. He can't control himself, and that, among many other things, that's one of his biggest problems.
in certain industries, countries in this world, but they would find somebody for what they call understating their statement of financial condition and making Deutsche Bank and Zurich, who, by the way, they still work with, money. But they're going to find him that kind of thing. It's absolutely insane. No, there will be no mayhem for the Trump organization, unfortunately. I know that probably was Miss James's goal and Judge Engoron, but that is not going to be the case.
Well, as I said, Jonathan.
I mean, all Donald Trump really has ever done his whole life and his whole, time in the public is pretend to be this huge real estate developer. And he isn't. Like, his dad developed a lot of stuff, but he poises like, all the skyscrapers that you see in Manhattan were built by me. And no, that's not the case. He runs an organization and that doesn't have a lot of employees. It was like 14 people who work for the Trump organization or something, and they just commit fraud. That's what they do. They just commit fraud everywhere. They commit fraud and they don't pay people. And they pretend like they're right, exactly. They got the GoFundMe. They got $500,000, but they about $400 million short though. They got a long way to go. I don't think it's going to get any more, not much more than what it's gotten. But I mean, hold on, who was it who started? I'm trying to remember who it was who started the GoFundMe campaign. I can't remember. But let's continue. Let us continue. Right, exactly. He gonna have to sell pieces of them sneakers as Trump steaks. Because isn't that some? Yeah, I think that's part of what he's selling. He's selling pieces of the suit that he wore when he got his mugshot taken. And he was like, "It's a really nice suit, believe me. Let me tell you, it's a really nice suit." Trump suits and his giant long ties that scrape against the ground. Trump be walking with them ties, leaning forward, them ties be dragging.
Did you know that more than 3/4 of states across...
Oh, sorry. Let me read what this is. Instead of just playing it. Senator Jackie Rosen releases video calling for federal marijuana legalization, pushes FDA to reschedule. That is what I'm talking about. More of this for a variety of reasons. One, because it needs to happen. And two, because it's just good politics. This is what Democrats need to be. And not that none of them are, because I mean, we're watching one now. And there are Democrats in the country, especially when you look at different levels of government, who push very strongly for marijuana legalization. It wouldn't be correct to say nobody does this. But I think that especially not just going into the presidential election, but just going into this new political era, this is one of the most important things. We got to federally legalize marijuana. It has to happen.
Did you know that more than 3/4 of states across the country have decriminalized or fully legalized the use of cannabis? In Nevada, we've been successfully regulating marijuana since 2017, and our economy and small businesses have seen the benefits. Unfortunately, Congress has failed to keep up with the times. As your senator, I'm committed to passing common sense legislation to support legal cannabis use nationwide and allow Nevada's cannabis industry to thrive.
Right, exactly, Monk. My man's Trump got that red tie on. He'd be like, "You see it? You see how big it is? You see how it drags on the ground?"
Tell you about some of the common sense reforms I've been pushing for. Last Congress, I introduced legislation to allow legally operating cannabis small businesses to access SBA loans and programs. Last year, I helped introduce the bipartisan Safer Banking Act to allow these legal businesses.
What happened? Why did the page reload all of a sudden?
Did you know we ultimately need to legalize last year programs? Last year, I helped introduce the bipartisan Safer Banking Act to allow these legal businesses to access banking and insurance services.
And that right there, what she just said, is one of the most important reasons why we have to get marijuana federally legalized because it's still not federally legal. They still got to do everything in cash. They can't really do a whole lot with the banks. So that's another reason why we have to push for federal legalization. I mean, it just makes things more difficult when everything has to be done in cash. You're more likely to get robbed. That's why they be having them armed guards. That's why they have those armed guards and why they have them armored trucks and stuff when they transport, because it's all cash. You got hundreds of thousands of dollars in there.
But we are not done yet. We ultimately need to legalize marijuana at the federal level. While we get there, one thing we can do right now is to reschedule cannabis, something I'm pushing the FDA to do. These are all common sense policies that match what Nevadans believe, and I will continue to champion these policies for Nevadans and all Americans. As always, I'm ready to work with anyone to deliver for my state.
Okay. Can't hate on that. Can't hate on that at all. Jackie Rosen, senator from Nevada. Well, cool. I'm gonna keep up with that legislation that she put up. I'm definitely gonna keep up with that. But that's good to see. That's definitely good to see. More of that. Shout out to Jackie Rosen. All right. Oh, they upstairs fighting. They always upstairs fighting. They always at each other's throats. Oh God, do I even want to read this? I'm looking. We got some Trump tweets, but do I even want to? This guy, man. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at this because it's just funny. This dude is still. I'm a lot richer than it looks like. Believe me, I underreported my numbers. Oh, so you're a fraud, and it's so stupid when he does this because it's like, hey everybody, I'm a con artist. I commit fraud. Why else would you underreport your numbers? And he's so dumb. All right, let's see. Elon Musk. Oh, Elon Musk. All right, here we go. He says, I have substantially understated my assets in the financial statements, not overstated them. And he put understated in all caps. I'm a lot richer than people are saying. Trust me. I'm really a big time billionaire. As the corrupt attorney general and judge, quotations, also 100% disclaimer clause, no default, no victims, no complaints, no nothing except for success from the banks and everyone else. The judge fraudulently stated that Mar-a-Lago was worth only $18 million. He's still talking about this. You are still talking about this. I mean, like, and what was it too? I think I was on, yeah, that was it was Friday, because I was on the power panel on Friday on the second hour, but I remember during the first hour when they covered the fact that I think it was that Trump got this huge fine. I think John pointed out how Trump was his main focus was that the picture that everybody was using of him playing golf was AI and that he wasn't actually fat. Like, he's not actually fat. That was his main focus right after he got that huge fine. And still, his main focus is conning people, frauding people, lying and pretending like he's something that he isn't. I mean, this dude is miserable. He would have been so much better off if he never would have became president. And we talk about that all the time. We talk about this all the time, and it's not even like he wanted to become president. This dude did not want to be president, and you know it. I understand everything. All right. Now, let's see. What is this? No, we don't need to do this. Okay. There's a study, as there are many of those, as those happen, that tends to happen. We do a lot of studies as a species. But there was a study, and that study concluded that video gaming actually improves brain functions at any age. Too much of anything is bad. You don't want to do too much of anything, but a little bit sprinkled here and there. In recent research that challenges common criticisms of video gaming, findings suggest that gaming may actually improve brain functions by enhancing certain cognitive abilities. Conducted by the Lero Esports Science Research Lab at the University of Limerick, the study sheds light on the potential cognitive advantages regular gamers hold over non-gamers, particularly in areas such as attention and memory. I could see that. Again, especially if you're not doing it too much, I could definitely see that because some games are, you know, you got to remember a lot of things, and you got to, you might have to remember how to get through a maze or directions to certain stuff. So I could see, yeah, if you're at a younger age, that can help stimulate things like that for sure. But I mean, we've been playing games like this for years. I mean, think about like the early, like when like I still remember when we had like the dial-up internet, or the early like third grade, fourth grade computer games, those reading games and stuff where you would put like the little disc in. I still remember all of that. So I don't think this is novel. This isn't new at all. But it is interesting to see it because video games typically aren't associated with anything like healthy. But yeah, it's just interesting info. Um, the study ma- the s- the study meticulously analyzed the cognitive performance of 88 young adults, evenly divided between regular gamers who engage in over 7 hours of action-based video games weekly, and non-gamers. That's not too bad. I mean, like an hour a day or something. Through a series of tasks designed to measure various cognitive functions, including reaction time, executive function rather, working memory, and visuospatial memory, researchers embarked on an exploration of how gaming habits might influence cognitive capabilities. The task included a simple reaction time test, a complex activity requiring participants to switch responses between numbers and letters, and a maze task aimed at assessing visuospatial memory. The findings were revealing. Gamers outperformed their non-gaming counterparts, completing the number letter switch task and the maze activity 12.7% and 17.4% faster, respectively. Dr. Adam Toth of the University of Limerick and Lero, the Science Foundation Ireland Research Center for Software, and co-author of the study, emphasized the significance of these findings. Toth stated, "The regular playing of video games is often criticized and seen as unhealthy, but our research shows that gamers may enjoy some cognitive benefits over the wider population, particularly relating to attentiveness and memory." Quote, "In line with previous work out of our lab, this research may have implications in sectors where cognitive performance is paramount, such as surgery and air traffic control, where video game play could be encouraged to help develop the elite cognitive performance required." Cognitive endurance. Okay. By assigning some participants an additional concentration intensive task before reevaluating them on the initial cognitive tests, researchers aim to induce cognitive fatigue and observe its effects. Yeah, and that's not surprising to me at all, especially as video games continue to advance, and just how complicated they are. Mm-mm. All right. Which one should we do? Man, people will do anything for social media, will they not? Check this out. People will do anything. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Florida man films himself eating raw chicken. Now, I can't think of many things worse to eat than raw chicken. I mean, you don't want to eat raw meat, period. I mean, it's not that great of an idea to just go doing it. But like his whole idea was um eating raw chicken every single day until I get a tummy ache. Like, why? Why? I mean, what is the point? What is the point? A tummy ache? Like, dude, you could kill yourself doing this, could you not? Oh, he got raw egg yolk and chicken. Just like we used to do it back in the day before society got pussified. Before society got pussified and started cooking our meat. Take it. What's that dude's name? The ancestral tenants. The dude, I can't remember his name, but he got busted for steroids and stuff. He's got a beard and he be eating like bull testicles and stuff like that. And he's got like the ancestral tenants. Every day for breakfast, I eat cornstarch and bull testicles. Like, no, you don't. But yeah, that was like his whole thing. What? This dude did this for 200 days? Man, come on, bruh. Day 15, eating raw chicken until I get a tummy ache. Why? Day 28. Oh, that's so gross. Ugh, what is he drinking? Oh, he blended it up. Oh my God, this is so gross. Exactly. He gonna die. Exactly. King Jai. Exactly. Oh, no, don't do this. Don't do this. This is not a good idea. And not that any of y'all would have done it, but I do have to put that out there. You feel me? I do have to say it. I mean, just why? Because this isn't a real scientific experiment. You're not doing this with like in a controlled test group or anything. You're just doing it. Oh God. Oh yeah, man. Go out. Well, I was about to say go outside, but it looked like he was outside in one of those things, like he was having a picnic. So I don't think that's going to help. Right, exactly. I'm sitting there thinking like raw chicken is maybe about one of the worst things because man, chicken goes bad. Like chicken goes bad quick. I mean, meat will go bad quick anyway, but you just know it with chicken. It stinks so bad. When it's rotten, it's like, ugh. But yeah, my man's is yeah, the Liver King. That's exactly the Liver King. That's who I was thinking of. The 9 ancestral tenants. Like, bro, hey, it worked for him for a while. So, and I think before he had started all of that, he was already like very well off. Um, but yeah, Candace Owens says black women don't like Taylor Swift because she's giving Karen and Travis Kelsey is just using her. I don't really think I don't think black women are that bothered with Taylor Swift. I don't. I mean, maybe if I could see if she was, I could see black women talking more about her if she was like dating some like hot black celebrity that everyone knew, but she's not. She's dating a white guy. So I don't like you're talking about this. Like, you stop trying to speak for black women, Candace. You don't have any black friends in the first place.
Happy Thursday.
35 minutes. Oh, we not watching this. We not watching this. I just wanted to laugh at it real quick because it's just funny. It's like another 35-minute segment where she's just talking about Taylor Swift. Like, why I don't Candace, I really don't see why. I don't see black women talking about her. I mean, people talk about Taylor Swift. It's not like all of a sudden black women are mad at Taylor Swift. Like, no, they're not. Like, Taylor Swift is one of the most talked about people on the planet. including you. But we not finna watch this because I really don't want to listen to 15, 20 plus minutes of this woman being jealous of Travis Kelsey. Well, she wants Travis Kelsey, but I ain't gonna sit here and listen to this, and I'm not gonna make y'all. I'm not gonna make y'all listen to it either. It's just funny. It was just funny to look at real quick because again, I'm like, nah, I don't think that all. No, you're talking about it, but we had a fun one today. A fun one. Uh, let's see. It is 3:35. Yes. Yeah, we could have watched that, but I'm just like, why do we have to suffer through it? And we get it. We get it. We've seen it multiple times. So why watch it? But look, thank you. Listen, thank y'all everybody for tuning in. We had a very fun stream. I had a good time. I love and appreciate all of you. We got like 30 new subscribers yesterday or something like that. So thank you everybody new. And we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna start doing nerd news again this weekend, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit, have like discussions and stuff like that. I posted yesterday a short where I was talking about how if I had Spider-Man powers, I would just go steal it. I would steal everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would be a master jewel thief or some shit if I was Spider-Man. So we're gonna have conversations like that. We still gonna check out like upcoming things. We're gonna be like, if you had super strength, what would you do? And it's some funny stuff, man, because let's be serious. We can't, people can't handle superpowers. I mean, let's be real. None of us could handle having superpowers. I mean, if couldn't nobody tell you nothing, then, being people have to be able to tell you some shit. If can't nobody tell you nothing, then why you not gonna just do whatever you want? That's human nature. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have interesting nerdy ass conversations like that because that's what we do. But y'all have a fantastic rest of the day. I love and appreciate all of you. And I will see you tomorrow. Let's keep this thing going.